Hi, I'm Alan McNaughton, a full-stack JavaScript and PHP developer. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about this project and discuss how it was built. The product is a gamified e-learning and coaching platform for the direct selling industry. The platform was designed to help educate, engage, and coach the end user, who's typically a sales rep. These steps lead to a more active sales force that sells more. Each of our client sites is completely different, and its unique content, game mechanics, a points reward system, and look and feel. I'll give you a quick tour of the demo site. There's a whole lot more functionality than I can demonstrate in this very short video. Besides, this is a video about technology and code, not a marketing presentation. So let me go ahead and log in. We actually do have an API, so we enable single sign-on. We have a RESTful API that clients can integrate with, and they can actually just have their users click on a link and go directly into the site without login. We also handle user provisioning and all that other stuff. Here we have a course, and we're going to enroll in this course. And oh, look, we just earned 20 points for enrolling in this course. Our list of achievements is now piling up in real time. Our point totals are going up because we have gamified the platform. We're actually giving people rewards and points for taking actions. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here in the first unit. This is all we're going to go through in this demo. I just want to give you a very quick example of what the site looks like and then show you some of the code. So this will be a training unit of some type. And, we're asking questions. We can ask them all different types of questions and get different types of question types, multiple choice, true, false, all that stuff. These are open-ended questions, so somebody can just type in anything. For convenience, I'm just going to put some meaningless stuff in here so we can move ahead. And we're going to give people points for providing answers to these questions. So we're going to make a big deal out of people answering these questions, and you're going to see how we pull all the gamification elements together to make this exciting. So, that's a good example of how we use gamification to create engagement. We want to surprise and delight the user, which is all about how we've built a platform to weave into into the training these mechanisms that come along and give people a big smile and motivate them to do more. So as you can see, there's a lot of use of asynchronous JavaScript and jQuery on the platform. To make it very dynamic and real time. So the product is my brainchild, and I built most of it. It's built on a multi-tenant WordPress instance, WordPress multi-site, and it's a good example of the powerful types of content-centric sites you can build with WordPress. It's not just for blogs anymore. You can actually do a lot more with it than just put up a simple blog. So let's take a quick look at some of the code that's in use. One of the first things I want to do is show you the user class. The user class is something that actually is central to all the code that we've written. And first of all, let's look at the PHP unit-based test case. So this is unit test for the user class, which shows you how you use it. So basically, you go new user and you pass it an ID, or you go new user and you pass it a username, or you pass it a consultant ID. And when you do that, the user class will figure out, oh, let's see, this is the identifier. What type of identifier is it? Let's go find this record and look it up. So you have multiple access mechanisms into the user data. The reason why we have a user class is because of the way WordPress stores its user information. It's got a very minimalistic user record, and then you augment the user record with metadata. And each of those metadata accesses and reads and writes requires a separate API call. So it's very cumbersome to work with. So we wrote a user class that actually, like here's an example. We want to modify something on the record. Let me find a test case here. 1 second, please. Okay, so we want to modify this client admin attribute. So we go new user, and of course we have an assertion here to make sure we got the information back, and it's the one we're looking for. And then we update this client admin attribute. And we're setting it to true, and then we simply save it. So loading, modifying, and saving a record is simply newing it, modifying it, and clicking and save. And the save function is intelligent and figures out what to do, and actually decomposes all the different attributes into WordPress metadata. So a very, very simple mechanism that is really clean. If you look at in the PHP samples repo, you can see the user class here. And this, gives you the actual code we use for managing this stuff. There's an intelligent constructor that figures out, okay, is this an email? What type of ID is it? Is it a single sign-on token? And actually takes the right steps then to get the right information. We're loading user data. Let me find the example where we're saving it, because that's interesting too. 1 second, please. I'll get down there. So here we are. This is save. This is the save method. It's a public method, of course. And if the record exists, then we call the update user method. Otherwise, we call the new user method. And update user is for a record that already exists in the database, so we want to handle it a little bit differently. There's some different ways to interface with WordPress. We have some special logic in here for handling if PHP unit is running, because it changes the behavior a little bit. We want to create a new user in this case here, a new user. So we have to use the special WordPress call, and we want to save the user meta. And saving the user meta basically takes the items that are in the object, the user object, and writes them out to the metadata table. Here is a twig template. This is an example of how we do our front-end rendering. And then we also have another example from our app here in this reminder class. This is an abstract class that we use to actually this abstract-based class that contains the functionality for our reminder email system. And this is something that is all available for your review in GitHub. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.